Good afternoon, everybody. I thought we could play with a few blocks today. So if moms or dads would like to watch this video with the kids, just if you needed to know a few learning things that the kids can learn while they play, what you can do is while the kids are playing with the blocks, you could maybe play beside them and you could create a pattern. So you can make a pattern out of the colored blocks if you like, and show and talk to the kids about it. So there's yellow, green, and then these are wet. I just washed them because there are outside blocks. So yellow, green, yellow, green. Okay. And do a few so that they realize the pattern. It takes a little bit to realize the pattern that's going on here, especially for the little ones. So do a bunch. There we go. So there, we've got a little pattern going on. Yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green. Okay, and then yellow and green. So as you're doing this, oh, the wind might blow it over. As you're doing this, then you could let the kids know, oh, look it, I've created a pattern. And you can either ask them if they're a little bit older and you're pretty sure they do know what patterns are. You could ask them, what is the pattern I created? Whoopsies. Or for the younger ones who you're sure don't know patterns yet, then you can just show them and talk to them about it. I'm just going to hold this for a minute. It's getting quite windy. Okay, whoops. Okay, so we'll just lay it down. There. Okay, so you can show them, oh, look, Mommy created a pattern. Yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green. Now, obviously, they're going to have to know their colors by this time. If they don't, well, this is a good opportunity to teach them, right? Instead of doing the patterns, you know, you can use these blocks to teach them colors. Look at Mommy's building with the blue block. I have a blue block. Or if they're playing really nicely and you don't want to show them what you're building, because it's really nice to talk about what they're doing instead of what you're doing. So if they're building and just say they're just, you know, sometimes little kids like to put blocks side by side. So this is a good opportunity for you to just comment as they're picking up the block. Oh, Johnny, I see you're picking up the red block. And you can even do shapes. You know, you're picking up the square or the cube block. Okay, depending on what shapes they're learning. So either colors or shapes for the young ones. Okay, while they're building, talk to them. And there goes our pattern, it fell down. And then for the older ones, you could start with patterns. There we go. Okay, there. So then for the older ones, you can say, so do you see the pattern here? It's yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow. What comes next? And then Johnny or Mikey or Allison might say, ooh, orange. So then you can pick up an orange and you say, oh, the orange block? Are you sure? Do you see any other orange in here? And you just kind of ask them a question so that maybe they might be able to come to the answer themselves. So then say it again. Say the pattern again. Yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, orange. Does orange come next? And they might say no, so take it off. Whoops, the yellow came off. And then you can ask them. So if we're going yellow, green, and they're taking turns. Yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow. What comes next? They may realize the pattern by then, and they may say green. And that's the beginning steps of building patterns. Sometimes even when they're building, you might notice a bit of a pattern as they're building, so you can maybe bring the attention to that. You know, they might be just putting a few blocks on top of each other, just on their own, just kind of playing. And then then accidentally, whoops, the wind blew it down. And then accidentally they may end up sort of building a pattern just on their own. And then you could just bring their attention to that. Oh, wow, look what you made. You made a pattern. Green, orange, green, orange. So just as the children are playing, you know, you can just talk to them about what they're doing, what they're building, or what they're creating. You can ask them questions. Most of the time they can answer your questions. So this is just a little math you can do with them while they're playing, if you have colored blocks. Now, if you don't have colored blocks, you just have some regular looking blocks like these. Then what you can do is you can talk about the shapes. Okay, see? So look, I'm using a square and a rectangle. Okay, 2 rectangles. Use numbers. 2 rectangles and 1 square or cube. And you can talk about the shapes and or the numbers. Another thing you can do with the blocks is you can talk about big and small. So this square is bigger than this square. And you can let them know this is big, this is small. Or even carry on to the bigger words and say this is smaller than this block, instead of just using the word small. This square is smaller than this square. Or this square is bigger than this square. So much you can do with blocks. Okay, so you can also, if you really wanted to, you can even try doing some letters. So here, maybe we can make the letter T. It's kind of a big top for the letter T, but I don't think the children would care, and you can make the letter T. Depending on how many blocks you have. For shapes, you might be able to even make a letter H. Let's see what I've got here. So you can use that block, and then you can use maybe that block, and oh, there we go. We'll do this, and we can make the letter H. Let's see here. Let's carry on here. Might be too broken up for them, or it might not be. If they're a little older, they'll recognize it. Let's see. Look, we made the letter H. If you'd like to try and do some letters, a few letters here and there with blocks. Or you can stick with old school building and just, look, I made a bridge. I used the green and the yellow and the brown block when I made the bridge. Or if the children made a bridge, look, Mommy, I made a bridge. Then you can say, ooh, I love your bridge. And look at it's even different colors. You used the green block and the yellow block and the brown block to make your bridge. I like that. That's a different kind of bridge. So you can just kind of comment on what they're making and just sort of comment on their colors. Cleo, no thank you. And my dog is stealing my blocks. So these are just different ways that you can play with your kids with blocks, but turn it into some kind of a learning activity while they're not in school, if you choose to. Or you can just let them play, because probably they could play for hours with these blocks. Thank you for listening and playing blocks with me. Bye-bye.